It's Sunday, July 30th, 2023. Make sure to stay tuned to the entirety of this video. I shot some video of the downtown area here in Big Bear where we're at. We're at the cabin this weekend. And so I've got some scenic views that I've shot with the drone, and we drove through the downtown, the village earlier today. I filmed that so you can kind of get a feeling of the environment or the economic environment right now. People are out spending, no doubt. So I filmed that, so make sure that you stay tuned to watch that. And also make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this video all over the place. None of this is possible without you. But I just want to give you my perspective, my observation as we have spent the weekend up here in Big Bear at the cabin. And I will say, it's a real nice break to kind of just take a break from all the negativity, add a little balance in your life, and just spend some time with family, with nature, and just kind of de-escalating a little bit from everything that's going on, because here we go, tomorrow's Monday and everything's going to start all over. But some of the things I observed over the weekend I want to share with you. If you look from the outside looking in, everything seems fine. People are out. There was a lot of traffic up here over the weekend. Last night we drove through the villages where all the restaurants and bars are. Super packed. Restaurants packed to capacity, bars packed. You could not even find a parking spot. People are out spending money. And I have to question, where's the money coming from? When I see all these people out and I look at the data, I crunch the numbers, I look at the stats, and you really have to ask the question, where is the money coming from? The average California mortgage payment right now is $3,650. We know nationally that 42% of this country doesn't even have $400 saved up. The average cost of a new car payment, if you're financing a new car, $735 per month. 18% of the cars out there now that are being financed, 18%, the monthly payment is $1,000 plus per month. It's shocking. It really is. When we have 25, maybe 30,000 cars nationally being repoed per day, 25 to 30,000 cars in America are being repoed each day. Credit card debt, $1.3 trillion. Auto loan debt, $1.6 trillion. Student loan debt, $1.8 trillion. And then when we look at the national number of what people are paying on a mortgage, their income, going towards a mortgage is 39.9% of their income is paying for a mortgage. That is higher than what we saw in 2008. Almost 40% of people's income before taxes is going towards their mortgage payment. This is a critical number. This to me is unsustainable. And so when I look at all these people out spending, $8 or $9 for a latte, $8 for a beer, spending, $30, $40, $50 for a dinner. And then the cost to come up here and get an Airbnb or to stay at a hotel. Where is the money coming from? Is everybody making a ton of money? Is the economy doing that well? Or is a majority of this money coming from credit cards? Are people taking on more debt? There are people right now that just have the mentality that they're going to spend all the way to the end. They're going to spend with those credit cards until they hit a brick wall and those credit cards no longer are functioning, until those credit cards get shut down. People have that mentality that they're going to spend till they're no longer allowed to spend. And there are people out there right now this weekend spending money they know they don't have, and they're putting it all on plastic, just believing that some miracle is going to take place next week, that they're going to be able to pay this debt down. I don't know how this is sustainable when you look at the average mortgage payment, the average car payment, the average credit card payment, the debt. I don't get how people are doing it other than they are drowning in debt. How many people still have some money left over from all the stimmies? People might have some money left over because they've used their house as an ATM. They've pulled cash out of their homes. They did a HELOC. They did a cash out refi. And so they're still sitting on a little bit of money. And instead of being smart, they're just out burning it up because they cannot adjust their lifestyle. They will not allow their lifestyle to adjust to this changing economy. So if you're just driving down the road, if you're up here in Big Bear this weekend, you got to look at this. if you have no idea what's happening in the economy right now, you're looking at this going, wow, things are doing great. Everything's fine. Switching gears here a little bit. We know things are not great. And here's another indication that things are not doing great. Yellow trucking. We talked about this last week. Friday, they shut down, likely to file bankruptcy this week. This after the U.S. government bailed them out in 2020 at the cost of $700 million. And it wasn't really the U.S. government. It was you, the taxpayer, that bailed them out in 2020. Think about this. 2020, they got bailed out with $700 million by the taxpayer. And here we are 3 years later, and they're in trouble again. Taxpayers currently hold 29.6% of Yellow's shares, which on Friday were worth a staggering 71 cents per share. Now, when they file bankruptcy, that is likely going to go to zero. This will be the biggest trucking collapse in U.S. history. All this happening while freight rates are plunging. They're plunging from their all-time highs during the health crisis boom that we saw. Things are coming back down to reality. Rates are coming down as the economy slows down also. Higher interest rates and less demand for goods. And so we're going to see rates come down. And while they're coming down, other companies are going to scramble to gobble up whatever Yellow leaves behind. So this is going to be a big problem. It's another indication of the economy, the slowing down of the consumer. The consumers, they're out eating, they're out drinking, but they're spending less on goods. That's for sure. They're spending, I think, more on services, less on goods. They're coming out to the restaurants, they're coming out to the hotels, they're coming out to the bars. But this is all on borrowed time, ladies and gentlemen. All on borrowed time. Yellow trucking. $1.47 billion, so almost $1.5 billion in debt. And this is a bad time to be holding debt, not just for a company, but for an individual. When you get into trouble, when somebody loses a job, a spouse loses a job, maybe if your hours get cut, maybe if an emergency arises, like in the case of Yellow trucking, wouldn't it be nice to have some money put away? But most people don't, because they're out partying all weekend. They're out, in Palm Springs. They're out in Big Bear. They're out in Vegas. They're out just having a good time. Most people have absolutely zero money put away. They are just enjoying what they believe are the good times that are never going to run out, because they believe they're always going to have a plastic credit card and access to money. And this access to money is going to cost more and more as rates continue to go up. Average credit card interest rate now 24.06%. This is a very dangerous game to be playing right now. And Yellow trucking now, after a $700 million bailout, is in big trouble again and holding massive amounts of debt. And are they going to get bailed out again? Probably. Because that's just how stupid the system is that bailed them out the first time. They're going to do it again. Maybe this time we'll give them $1 trillion of taxpayer money. But what I'm saying here is you do not want to get yourself into trouble like Yellow trucking, because you're not going to get a bailout, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to get a $700 million bailout. You're not going to get a $1 billion bailout. Nobody cares about you. When you're in trouble, there's no bailout. You're on your own. So don't get yourself in a predicament like this. And if you're holding a lot of debt right now, you're at risk of big trouble like Yellow trucking. So again, everything from the outside looks good. From the inside, it does not. Really quick, shifting gears here yet again. I just want to comment. I was just reading, I guess this happened a couple weeks ago. It was just brought to my attention in the last 24 hours. This soldier, this Marine in Afghanistan who was killed, I think 13 total were killed. His family is going to have to pay $60,000 to get his body back to the U.S. while we are sending billions of dollars overseas. This to me is absolutely repulsive. Repulsive. I don't think there's a better word to say than repulsive. That a U.S. family has to pay $60,000 to get the body of their family member back to the U.S. while we are spending money like drunken sailors all over the world. And we're going to be bailing out trucking companies again. Yet a family is responsible to bring back their own kid at their own cost. After he lost his life, gave the ultimate sacrifice. Let me know your thoughts on any of this, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely despicable, disgusting, repulsive. Call it whatever you want. It's just unbelievable what is happening. But as I'm up here in Big Bear, I will say this on a positive note. It's great to just de-escalate a little bit up here. There's so much negativity, so much bad news out there. You got to add a little balance in your life. You do have to take a break. Enjoy time with family, enjoy time with the animals, enjoy time with nature, ladies and gentlemen. You have to add a little bit of balance. And so I'm glad that we came up here this weekend and took a little break from the rat race. It's really, really important to charge the batteries and just take a little break. You know, people can come up here really at no cost to spend the day. There's places that you can park for absolutely nothing. You can hike, you can hit the lake. There's just things you can do for absolutely nothing. Bring out the mountain bikes and go for a bike ride. You know, if you have an RV, you can come out here. If you have a tent, you can come out here. You can camp. And if you have the means, if you have the money, you can come out here. You can stay in a nice place. You can stay at a nice Airbnb. There's a lot of things you can do for very little money. And if you have money, there's things that you can do with a lot of money. But I just think overall, it's just good to take a break, enjoy what God has created, the beautiful skies, the beautiful trees. It's just absolutely beautiful up here, and it's just nice to just take a break. So I'm going to leave it there today. Watch the remainder of the clips here. Comment down below about your thoughts. What do you think about anything going on today? What you think we should be talking about? And as always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. God bless every one of you. So as we're heading down the mountain, just had a quick lunch at a little taco shop here in Big Bear. And I just want to make a quick note of this. Talked to the owner for about 10-15 minutes, and he was telling me that up here in the Big Bear area, his girlfriend works for one of these management companies where, you know, like Airbnb, where you come rent a house, they take care of all the services, manage the property for you. He said that this week they had 70 homes available. Beautiful weekend, only 25 rented for the weekend. Here we are, peak summer, beautiful weather, mid 80s here in Big Bear, and only 25 of the 70 homes rented. He said that he's got a friend with 4 or 5 homes on Airbnb, and said that their revenue is down 50% this year. And being the owner of a restaurant here, a small restaurant, a little mom and pop place, he said he's down about 15 to 20% compared to last year. So I appreciate the honesty. So that's just what's happening here. So when we were out last night, we saw a lot of people. I said, when we were downtown at the Villages, I said it was packed. He goes, that's one day a week. People are coming out here just for a day, for an evening, and that's it. Because here we are Sunday now, and it is cleared out. So these places are making it maybe on a Saturday night, maybe a Friday night, but there's 7 days in a week. But there's a small restaurant owner right there telling you down 15 to 20%. His friend with an Airbnb is down 50%. His girlfriend works for a management company that manages property, and they had 70 houses for rent this weekend. This beautiful weekend, only 25 rented, and this is the height of summer. So very interesting. I wanted to update all of you with that, but that's what's happening. So you can't always believe what you see. Just because people are out at the restaurants, out at the bars, doesn't mean that the economy is booming. You got to look a lot deeper.